Yeah. The fanatic. Well, we keep it 100, keep it real. That's the only way we know how to be. Talking that sports talk. You know what I'm saying? Straight out of South Carolina. Upstate, A64. Yeah. TFANATTIC. The fanatic where we keep it OG. We talking sports, so I call what.
Welcome into the Fanatic Sports Show for sports fans by sports fans. It's your boy Coach I, and you know I got the stat guy with me. What's up, stat guy?
Hey, what's going on tonight for a little ACC action, Coach?
I know, man. I figured I'd torture you a little bit more, man. Make you talk some Clemson taters, as you call them. Clemson Tigers football, man. Clemson fans showed up, man. So we got to show the Clemson fans some love. They showed up last week in a big way. And their team showed up in a big way. You know what I'm saying? Just to recap from last week, they showed up and pretty much they handled Louisville. I know some Louisville fans might say, hey, man, Malik got hurt, but it was 17-7 and Clemson was pretty much in control when he got hurt. So I don't know. It could have changed it, but I don't know if they really would. Clemson came out with a mind's eye to be really physical after Notre Dame really bullied them up in South Bend the week prior. And then, hey, man, shout out to the Miami Hurricanes. You get a special shout out for me for beating the trade school in downtown Atlanta. It's always a good day when Tech loses, so as a dog fan. So appreciate y'all, Miami, for taking care of business. You had one job and you did it. Did it in good fashion, even though I don't know what's going on down there. I don't know what's going on with the offense, but we'll get into that here. What you thinking about about Week 11's recap?
Yeah, you know, both teams got wins. Clemson a much-needed win after going up to South Bend in Week 10 and losing all hopes at a college football playoff berth. But, hey, they bounced back. They're now locked into the ACC championship showdown against North Carolina. You know, this could maybe be a tricky game heading into this week for them. Coming off a win the week before the rivalry week, you've already won the ACC, and you're playing a bottom feeder. Could be interesting. And for Miami, come up off the mat, beat the team you're supposed to beat, give yourself a chance at least to go to a bowl game in Chris Paul's first year.
That's right. These last two games will be crucial for Miami because they are 5-5. They got Clemson, then Pitt. They got to win one to be bowl eligible. With Clemson, you might be right. I don't know. Can they stay focused because they've clinched the ACC Atlantic? They're already, like you say, locked up to play North Carolina. I don't think even if they was to somehow lose this game and go on and win the ACC title, I think they go to they go into a New Year's Six regardless. You know what I'm saying? I think the New Year's Six maybe the loss depends on which New Year's Six you go to, but I think as long as they win the ACC, they're locked into a New Year's Six bowl game. So let's talk about the Miami offense, man, versus the Clemson defense. The Clemson defense actually, looked a little bit better last week. They was physical. The DBs was playing really good. Nate Wiggins, I thought, had a pretty good game. And he's been up and down this year, but I think he had a pretty good game. Makuba, of course, I've always been high on him. He had some key stops as well. The Miami offense, man. We don't know if Tyler Van Dyke. I tried to check. I don't know what his injury status is. He was questionable going into last week's game and then end up not playing. So he re-injured that throwing shoulder or throwing arm, something on his arm, a couple weeks ago. So if he plays and he's 100%, then maybe the offense looks better. But if he doesn't, I don't know, man. Because what is Clemson's defense giving up?
Yeah, so you're looking at a Clemson defense that gives up 21 a game, only 111 a game on the ground. Now that number has ballooned the last couple. It was in the low 80s a couple weeks ago before that trip to South Bend. So it is up. But, still, they're only looking at 229 through the air, only giving up 340 a game. Their defense it hasn't been, I think, what people were expecting it to because, there was talk coming into the season that they were going to be the Georgia of last year, that they were going to have the dominating defense. They were going to have 5 or 6 first-round draft picks. It definitely has not been that. They're young in the secondary, and their front four is not dominated the way many across the land were expecting them to coming into this season.
That's right, man. They've had some injuries here and there, but like, what's crazy is I was a guy, we cool on Twitter, man. He's a big Clemson fan, knows what for the most part, what he's talking about, keeps it real. When I told him that's going up to South Bend and that Notre Dame wouldn't be able to run on him, he's like, I don't know, man. Even when healthy, our front seven hasn't looked like it's supposed to look. They have players that play good at times, but not as a collective. Like they have a lot of elite individual players, but they haven't been elite as a unit up front. I think that's the problem. What about the Miami offense? I don't know if we can count the numbers, but hey, let's go ahead and talk about it. If Tyler Van Dyke comes to play, then healthy, then maybe those numbers are relative.
Yeah, you're looking at 25 points a game. You're looking at 252 yards through the air. And the most important stat, they are averaging 140 a game on the ground. So can they get the run game going against the Clemson defense? And can they be the team that's more physical in the trenches, at least on that side of the ball, and kind of bow their necks a little bit and kind of impose their will?
That would be key. It's not like the Clemson offense is, really explosive, but you don't want their offense to have more time, than your offense does, and you can get your defense some rest if that offense can't run the ball and stay on the field a little bit longer. But on the other side, again, like I was just saying, Miami's defense is gonna have to face Clemson's offense, who not like in years past when they had better trigger men under center. And I'm not blaming everything on DJ because their skilled players aren't the same as well. This Clemson offense, sometimes you just don't know what you're gonna get. Like they moved with a purpose this past Saturday versus Louisville, but in weeks before, it's like sometimes they know what they want to do, sometimes they don't. If they keep it, honestly, if they try to play, if they do bully ball, meaning like they ground and pound, I think that's the better version of Clemson. Just like they finished the year last year with mostly the run game, I think that's what Clemson's MO needs to be going forward. Because, like I say, between DJ and the receivers and the tight ends, I mean, their one tight end, he's playing pretty good, but their passing attack just hasn't been what it needs to be. So I think they need to keep it on the ground.
Yeah, no. And you want to talk about the other side with that Clemson offense going up against that Miami defense. You can look at one number, and it's going to be the Russian offense versus the Russian defense. There was a comment on YouTube a couple weeks back that somebody said their offense was better the more DJ threw the ball. I still don't know what that guy was on, but maybe me and you need to do it before we watch some South Carolina football. Maybe it'll make me feel a little better. But no, you're looking at a Clemson team that is putting up over 180 yards a game on the ground, going up against a run defense that only gives up 120. So can Miami stand tall in the front seven and slow Will Shipley down? Because I fully believe the way to beat Clemson is put the ball in DJ's hands as much as humanly possible.
Yeah, and not just Shipley. Maffa's come on too, and that dude's a load to tackle, especially for 4 quarters. But you're right, Antonio Williams on the outside. I actually like him. He's young though, inexperienced, but when that dude gets the ball in his hands, he's he can make stuff happen. But I'm with you. I feel like if you can, I don't know if you got to load the box. Honestly, if I was the defense coordinator, I would. I'd load the box and go one-on-one on the outside, and just say, hey, man, if I lose by DJ throwing for 300, then let DJ throw for 300. They made some plays last week, but it's not like all the passes were on point or all the receivers were catching the ball. So I'd rather, if I'm a pick a poison, I'd rather face the air attack than to have Shipley and Maffa getting the ball, and just running it down my throat. So what is the let's get to the predictions. What is the over under and the spread on this game?
So the over under is only at 46.5. So we're expecting a low scoring affair, and Clemson is favored by 19, just shy of 3 tutties. This is a 3:30 kickoff, and it is at Clemson Memorial Stadium, what some like to refer to as Death Valley.
That's right, man. And Clemson, listen, again, I say it every time they have a home game and we do a preview, but they haven't lost since 2016 at home. It's like, I think Saturday made 38 straight, if I'm not mistaken. And it also extended a streak of I don't know, 150 games where they haven't lost back to back or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So 19 points. God, Vegas don't like Miami at all. Listen, I think Clemson comes out. I think Clemson, for what it's worth, I think they got a wake-up call, you know, physicality-wise when they got hammered by Notre Dame. And I think they're going to come out just like they came out against Louisville with a purpose. I think Clemson covers. You know what I'm saying? I think Clemson wins 31-10. So that's what I'm going with.
All right, so taking the under, taking the cover. Look, man, you torture me enough by putting Clemson on here. Ain't no way I'm picking them Tigers to cover. I'm also going to take the under. So give me a final score of 25-20. And you know what? Forget just the cover. I'm not even going to pick them to win. Give me Miami Hurricanes. Throw them U's up, boy, to beat Clemson 25-20. You're not getting me 2 weeks in a row. Get out of here with that.
25. Hey, you are off your rock. I don't even know how they gonna get 25, but if they figure out somehow to do that, then I guess they would beat the Tigers. Wouldn't that be something if this Miami team, this version of Miami, is the one to end the home winning streak? Like, that'll be terrible. You know, I don't care, Clemson fans. If that happens, listen, that would be terrible because I just don't think this Miami team has got it. You know what I'm saying? So there it is, Tiger fans, Cane fans. Get in the comments. Let us know what you think the score is going to be and what the keys to the game will be for for the Tiger hating stat guy. This is Coach I, the Fan Addict. We out.
Go.
We got it jumping like it's that valley. I call my dogs out the pound, let's go eat. Turn on the Fan Addict, let's have a debate. Who really hold down the Southeast from state to state? What team hungry gonna eat everything up off they plate?